And we continue Dirshu Mishnah Berurah over here, and we're holding at the very, very end of Siman Pei Hey about what is allowed to do in a bathroom and a makamati naifais. And then we're going to continue today into Siman Pei Vav, and then ultimately get into Siman Pei Zayin. So Siman Pei Hey, we're holding in the final Ramah, in which Ramah teaches Makom Shabbat al-Har v'divrei Torah mitul of Saitin, in a place that one is allowed to think in divrei Torah, he's allowed to paskin. However, as long as he doesn't say the tam. And we already ended off the previous year. This was Mishnah Berurah that we weren't able to get up on the screen. I apologize. You see it in front of you, in which the Mishnah Berurah says you don't say b'lashayin ha'ira, but you tell a person don't do this, and this is very relevant. Often, let's say in a yeshiva dormitory, and you have the bathrooms, the mirrors, and whether that area has a din of a bathroom or not is always a discussion. But let's say in the case of Mishnah Berurah, you said it's Erev Pesach and someone is shaving after Chatzos. The halach is you're not allowed to. So the Mishnah Berurah taught us that the Chatchila, you should tell them, do not shave ein migalchen. You shouldn't say it's forbidden. The reason why you shouldn't say it's forbidden is because that's a psak halacha. However, the Mishnah Berurah continued and said, but if you're not going to understand, then you're allowed. And now we continue with the Mishnah Berurah Sivkat in Yotes that says, Makom Shamot al-Har b'divrei Torah kigoyin. In the middle place of a merchatz, if he himself is not clean, go take your kid. I'm going to be here in 5 minutes. I'll see you soon. Apologies for that interruption. Let's continue. You touch an area, so now the halacha is that you're allowed to be mahar b'divrei Torah. If the hands of the person's body is dirty, mamish, then if you'll hear is aser. What's the halacha when you're allowed to be mahar b'divrei Torah? You're allowed to be lips like din. Hear this is very relevant. When's this relevant? Many people are probably thinking, what do you mean? We don't paskin halachas all the time. Of course you do. You don't even realize. Someone's married, and his wife asks him, wait, what's the bracha on this? His wife says to him, or a child says to him, am I allowed to do this and I'm allowed to do that? And the person just woke up in the morning, and he didn't wash his hands yet. So what's the halacha of that person? He has halacha, like the Mishnah Berurah just said, he was naga b'mechaymes hamatunafos. So what is the halacha if that person? Says the Mishnah Berurah, you're allowed to pay a din as long as you just mechashev the tam b'liboy. And we continue with Siman Pei Vav, in which the Mechaber coins shetzarich laharchig min hamayim sruchim. You have to distance yourself from mayim sruchim. Says the Mechaber, mayim sruchim oy misha mishra, oy misha sharim ben pishtin, or water that they soak flax in, oy cannabis. You have to distance yourself from them like tzaya. From here we see a big yisoid that the din of tzaya, the din of meiraglayim, is not dafka tzaya meiraglayim. It's anything that's smelly and disgusting. Comments the Mishnah Berurah, if got an aisle of mayim seruchim al kain, therefore, I said mikvayi shemimim seruchim yimasakayis. A mikvah that the water is disgusting in the summer. Not only can you not make a bracha when you're inside that mikvah, you have to distance yourself from it like tzaya. But it says Mishnah Berurah, what does it mean it's disgusting? It's so disgusting that you're pained from the bad smell. That's when you get this din of mayim sruchim. So I guess it's probably not so applicable, but perhaps sewage water would be a good example. If there's going to be sewage water somewhere that no one could stand by, it absolutely stinks and smells, that would be a very good example that you would not be able to say divrei kedusha over there. Oh, here it is. Bust water pipe outside the shul. Af im kadma. Balagina zarch laharchek. So now who's chayv to pay for the balagina? Tavi milsa di isura. Again, not a basurish pipe. He's talking about the lechatchila, but it'll be the same thing. I may misha sivkatan base. Shemasri have a kolchkin misha shekoivs in the laundry water. Shemachabsevem big day kitanim that you washed the little kids' clothing. Sheshbem saya. What's the halach of such an area? Reminds the Mishnah Berurah that if it's in front of you, you have to distance yourself from a kamaliyanav. If it's behind you, because the prima gadim da isura hu min atayra kemai tzaya. Cause value rabbi hu prima gadim b'mar tefay sayayin jish reach rabbi upash. Says the prima gadim, If we have a wine cellar that smells bad, and you disgusted by it, Aslik was Kriyishma. For din kol kai gav no, but Rambam barak down milchas tefila halacha taz mashma the mutter. Rak the chacham in Nizarim zebi sat tefila in shamul pelish leyiru bazeh. Shmuel is bothered that no one discusses this, but again, the application of this halacha would be probably sewage and the like. We just begin Siman Pei Zayin in the Mechaber coins. Kamzach larchim b'shas Kriyishma in a grav shel rei. Says the Mechaber graf shel rei v'avid shel meiraglayim. We have the graph of the excrement as well as the bowl that one urinates into, shal cheres or shal eitz, of a porcelain or wood, so l'archik mehem, of the actual potty, of the actual chamber pot, kimoi mitzaya, afilu itzel b'mayim, even if there is water inside of it. But the Mishnah Berurah Mechaber continues, but if it's metal or etc., oishal schuches or glass, oishal cheres, Mitzupa, then mutter merchutzim yafa, then it's allowed if they are washed out well. So we're just going to begin the Mishnah Berurah over here when he says if katan aleph grav shel rei va'afilu atein bem klum, even if right now they're empty, va'afilu merchutzim yafa, they wash well mivnim machutz nikiyim legamri. Still, Shema Mreich Ra, still the entity itself is a disgusting entity, and therefore you're not allowed to say Shema in their vicinity. If it's used for two things, let's say it's used to wash the floor, then mutter, then it doesn't have this stigma of a toilet. If every time you urinate, you put into a revius of water like we've seen, which is mevatel and nullifies the water, mutter imein magia mimenu reach rav. And here at least says Mishnah Berurah. Debzem magia reach rav and aikli dino kavin mamish. Start lahaki dalam zevak shekol reach. If it smells, then it's like a bathroom itself. Ayin bir halacha. Kamay mitzayes if gotten gimel. Lafanik molieno lachav dalam zevak shekol reach. Umashma mi divrei. Harbe achrayim continues Mishnah Berurah. De maskimin divrei Rabbeinu Yoina de ben Atayra aser grava of it is a din daraisa. So comments to Mishnah Berurah is a bit of a chiddush because the miraglayim itself really is only a din derabanan. So therefore, how could this be a din deraisa? Ha'avit, the chamber pot itself is chamer tvei. The kivan de miyuchad lazeh. Havli kibesa kisei. Ulachein lo mani ben gankin atal smayim doesn't have to wash it off. Afilu milan ad shuleya. You have to repeat Kriyishma mamish like a din daraisa. Allah, if you had a suffix when it was there originally, if it's in front of you, as we've seen in Siman Pei Aleph, Beis Mishnah Berurah Ayin Sham. Actually, you know what? Let's finish up over here. If it's made out of schuches of glass, Taz not so happy. Why are we being made of made out of the glass? It doesn't absorb. Now this is actually a big marmakim in Yeredeya. What is the status of glass in halacha? Says Mishnah Berurah over here, it's not baileya. It doesn't do it a lot. This is a big machlaikas. Vachaber Ramah, Svardim Ashkenazim, the status of glass in halacha with regard to real bliyos. But whether this is a raya or not, perhaps we'll leave for now. But if it's mitzupah, if it's coated with glass, if katanei yesharim dahinu mashanu karin glazert, it's glazed. V'yesharim the dafkemu mitzupah ba'avar v'loy glazed. Not that it's just a thin glaze, but it's a thick coating. That's be covered from both sides. It's enough, it's only covered on the inside. After everything is settled, says the Mishnah Berurah, it has to be covered from both sides. If you turn it upside down, and then you can be makel if it's just glazed. Because then it's not so disgusting if this chamber pot is glazed on the inside and it's flipped upside down. Porcelain, says regular of pottery, you can't do agal in it. But near this there is one should be machmer with regard to this halacha. Yafeh. Sifkat and Vav, which is commenting if they're washed well, says Mishnah Berurah mifnim b'achotza both sides. The gam shleiyam imeno reich ra can't smell. The magem imeno reich ra dinik reich ra she'in lo iker. Achrei the akli eno lav sheim graf of it unikiya he it's clean. Being sark la'archik rak and magshich la reich. The makli eno rochut sark lam and dal amos ula yish aleha mamashal zuhuma. This is a very interesting marmakum as we commented whether we can learn out the dinim of glass. A very famous tshuva from Ramosha in which he talks similarly about rubber and its absorbing properties with regard to as well, a chamber pot and other things that hold in urine, etc. Whether there's a raya from there too, blios, etc. But that's the halacha for today. I guess one of the big things we take out today is the sewage, the care the one has to have. If it's very smelly, that you can't oven, etc. in its proximity, we'll pick it up from Sif Beis the next year, B'siyata Dishmaya.